You're sitting in your car during a traffic stop. The officer walks up and suddenly says, "I need to see your phone." Your heart drops. You hand it over thinking you have nothing to hide. But within 30 seconds, that officer has bypassed every password and security setting you thought you had. I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I've seen over 200 cases where people lost everything. Deleted messages recovered, private photos used as evidence, entire cases built from a phone they thought was locked tight. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the 3 exact ways cops unlock phones without your password and the specific words that stop them from ever touching your device. This isn't about hiding evidence. This is about protecting your constitutional right to privacy. The mistake everyone makes is thinking Face ID or fingerprint locks protect you during police encounters. You're at a protest. Police start making arrests. You're detained. At the station, an officer holds your phone up to your face. Click. It unlocks. You didn't touch it. You didn't consent. But your face just became the key. Here's how it happens. Officer says, "We need to document your property before booking." You say, "Okay." Officer holds phone up and says, "Look here for the photo." You look at phone. Phone unlocks via Face ID. Officer says thanks and immediately starts scrolling. You say, "Wait, I didn't unlock that." Officer responds, "Your face did, that's consent." This happens in seconds. Courts have ruled that police can physically force you to unlock your phone with your fingerprint or face without violating your Fifth Amendment rights. Why? Because biometrics are considered physical characteristics, not testimonial evidence. Your passcode is protected. It's something you know, but your face and fingerprints are something you are. In 2019, a federal judge in California ruled that police could compel suspects to unlock phones using fingerprints, faces, or iris scans. If they get past your biometrics, they don't stop at recent messages. Modern forensic tools extract deleted photos from 6 months ago, encrypted app data, location history, internet search history, passwords, banking information, and medical records. Here's the wrong way. Officer says, "Look at the camera for your booking photo." You look directly at officer's phone. Phone unlocks. Officer says, "Perfect," and starts searching. You say, "I didn't agree to that?" Officer responds, "You looked at it. That's on you." Here's the right way. Officer says, "Look at the camera." You say, "Officer, before we proceed, I'm turning off my phone completely," and power down device. Officer says, "I didn't ask you to do that." You respond, "I'm exercising my right to prevent unauthorized access. The phone is off. I do not consent to any searches." The moment you see police, immediately power down your phone completely. When a phone reboots, it requires the passcode. Biometrics don't work until you enter the code first. This is called before first unlock state. In this state, the phone's encryption is strongest. Why does this matter so much? Because once your phone is in before first unlock state, even advanced forensic tools have an extremely difficult time accessing it. The encryption keys aren't in active memory. Everything is locked down at the hardware level. This is your strongest possible protection. If already detained, say, "I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right. I will not unlock this device using my face, fingerprint, or passcode." Say this clearly. Say it loudly enough for body cameras to pick it up. Repeat it if necessary. If they physically force your finger or face, say loudly, "I am not consenting. This is being done under force." This creates a legal record. Your attorney can use this to challenge the search. Courts are increasingly skeptical of forced biometric unlocking, but only if you clearly objected. The second way cops get into your phone is psychological pressure. You're being questioned at the station. You're not under arrest. The detective has been friendly, offering coffee, making small talk. Then he slides your phone across the table. Detective says, "Listen, I know you didn't do anything wrong, but your number came up in an investigation. I need to clear you so you can go home. Just unlock your phone. Let me see your messages from last Tuesday." We look, we see nothing, you're done. 5 minutes. You hesitate. "I don't know, don't you need a warrant for that?" Detective says, "I could get a warrant." That takes hours, maybe days. You'll sit here the whole time. Or you just unlock it right now, we clear this up, you're home in 10 minutes. You got nothing to hide, right? Just unlock it. Stop. This is where everything goes wrong. The moment you unlock that phone, three things happen. First, you've consented to a search. Second, anything they find, even things unrelated, can be used against you. Third, they will not stop at Tuesday's messages. They'll scroll through everything. I had a client who unlocked his phone to show he wasn't at a robbery scene. The detective found marijuana dealing messages from 2 months prior. He was arrested for distribution. He went from witness to defendant because he unlocked his phone. Detectives are trained to minimize the request, just 5 minutes. Maximize the consequence of refusal. You'll sit here for days and assume guilt, nothing to hide. Here's what happens if you unlock. Minute 1, detective scrolls through recent texts. Minute 3, goes back weeks. Minute 5, opens photo gallery. Minute 7, finds something interesting. Minute 10, calls another officer. Minute 15, you're being read your Miranda rights. Minute 20, you're under arrest. And here's the thing most people don't realize. That 5-minute promise, it was never true. Detectives know that once you unlock your phone, they're not stopping. They're going to forensically extract everything. They're going to recover deleted data. They're going to find things from months or years ago that have nothing to do with why you're there. I've seen cases where people unlocked their phones to prove they weren't texting while driving and ended up charged with drug crimes from messages 6 months old. The detective wasn't lying when he said, "Just show me Tuesday." He just left out the part where he'd look at everything else too. Here's the right way. Detective says, "Just unlock your phone." You say, "I want a lawyer." Detective says, "That makes you look guilty." You respond, "I want a lawyer. I do not consent to searches." Detective says, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." You say, "I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. I want a lawyer. Am I free to leave?" The exact words are, "I do not consent to any search of my phone. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. I will not unlock this device." The phrase, "I want a lawyer," ends the interrogation legally. They must stop. Anything after that is inadmissible. The third way is at the moment of seizure. Officer pulls you over. After checking your license, he says, "I'm going to need your phone." You freeze. Is he asking? Is he ordering? Can you refuse? There's a massive legal difference between a request, "Can I see you right now? Can I see your phone?" and a command, "Give me your phone." With a request, you can refuse. With a lawful command, you must comply physically, but still don't unlock it. Request scenario. Officer says, "Can I take a look at your phone?" You say, "Officer, are you asking me or ordering me to hand over my phone?" Officer responds, "I'm asking. It would help if you cooperated." You say, "I do not consent to any search of my phone or any other property. Am I free to leave?" Command scenario. Officer says, "Give me your phone." You're being detained. You say, "Officer, for the record, what is the lawful reason for seizing my phone?" Officer responds, "It's part of the investigation." You say, "I do not consent to this seizure or any search of my phone's contents. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. Hand over physical device if commanded, but do not unlock it." Sometimes officers just take it. You're being handcuffed, and an officer reaches into your pocket and grabs your phone. Say loudly for body cam, "Officer, I do not consent to this search. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. I will not provide my passcode." This creates a record that you objected. If the seizure was illegal, your attorney can challenge it later. If an officer orders you to hand over your phone and you're being detained, you comply with the physical demand, but preserve your rights. Exact words. "I am handing over the device under protest. I do not consent to any search of its contents. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right and will not provide any passcodes or biometric unlocking." Why every single word in that sentence matters. Under protest means this isn't voluntary. Do not consent means any search without a warrant gets challenged. Fifth Amendment protects you from being forced to give your passcode. Will not provide makes it crystal clear you're refusing to help them access it. These aren't just words. They're legal shields that protect you in court later. If you can safely do so, start recording. Say clearly, "For everyone's safety, I'm recording this interaction." If officer objects, say, "I'm within my rights to record police in public. I'm recording for transparency." Here's what happens if you don't unlock. Phone is seized. Police must get warrant to search it. With strong encryption, they may not access it even with warrant. If they can't access it, they can't use it against you. Here's what happens if you do unlock. Immediate search of all contents. Forensic extraction performed. Data recovered going back years. Multiple charges possible from unrelated evidence. In California, recent cases have strengthened protection against warrantless phone searches. In Texas, courts ruled phones cannot be searched incident to arrest without a warrant. In Indiana, must have warrant to search phone. Physical seizure might be allowed, but search requires warrant in most states. Now here's what you do right now to protect yourself. Police departments use tools called Celebrite and Gray Key that can bypass phone security. A 6-digit code can be cracked in hours. A 12-character alphanumeric code takes months or years. Change from 6 digits to 10 plus alphanumeric characters. On iPhone, go to Settings, Face ID and Passcode. Change passcode, passcode options, custom alphanumeric code. On Android, go to Settings, Security, Screen Lock, Password. Do this tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Because every day you wait is another day your phone is vulnerable to these tools. And here's a critical tip. Don't use common words or patterns. Don't use your birthday, your address, or your kid's name. Use a random combination of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Write it down on paper and keep it somewhere safe at home, not on your phone. If you're going to a protest or any situation with police risk, temporarily disable Face ID and Fingerprint. On iPhone, click Power button 5 times quickly. On Android, hold Power button. Select Lockdown mode. Practice this now. Pull out your phone and do it 3 times so your muscle memory knows how. Because in the heat of the moment, when you see police approaching, you won't have time to figure it out. Here's what you need to remember. Your phone is the most powerful evidence against you that police can access, but they can only access it if you let them, or if they have a warrant. The 4 phrases that protect you. Am I free to leave? This establishes the legal nature of the encounter. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. This stops all questioning. I want a lawyer. This ends interrogation. I do not consent to searches. This forces them to get a warrant. Your practical next steps. First, power down your phone, then change your passcode to 10 plus characters minimum. Second, disable Face ID and Fingerprint unlock. Use passcode only. Third, practice saying these 4 phrases out loud. This is educational content only. This is not specific legal advice. If you're facing criminal charges, consult a criminal defense attorney in your jurisdiction immediately. If this video helped you, hit like, subscribe, and share it. The smartest people aren't the ones who unlock their phones. They're the ones who understand their rights and refuse to give them away. Stay safe, stay silent, stay protected.